Hey guys, today we're going to talk about baldness in New York because I went to New York Fashion Week last weekend and it was so much fun. So before I explain everything, here are videos.
Going to New York! Yes!
Bum bum ba da dum ba 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 da da ba ba da 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 da. Just kidding, I'm not going to sing it to you guys, but this is really cool and we had so much fun seeing all of it. Oh, look at all that fantastic food. It was so good. And that food, it was mostly food. Mood was cool. That's the catwalk of our first shows and the little babies that were in it. Oh, look at her stuff. The designer did so good. These were the ball gowns. Another show, different show, a continuous changing of shows is basically what this is right now. He randomly started painting on them. It was cool. And then look at, there's Madeline. She's so cute. Oh, and I love her little kissy shirt. It was awesome. You can see Lady Liberty here in the distance. She's a tiny little dot. Oh, there she is. This wicked green dragon rocking it. And then Little Italy randomly joined the Chinese New Year parade. The last cannoli. I got it. Sucks to be anyone else. So that's like just a mass of what we did. It was so much fun, and people asked me like when they found out we were going, because we planned this in less than 24 hours. It was insanity. Like, I was talking with a friend, I was like, New York Fashion Week is going on right now, and she's like, I want to go. I'm just like, me too. And then we looked at each other and we're like, we're planning this. And so we started planning, and then it turns out she couldn't go, but we had collected a few more people that wanted to come, so the four of us ended up going, and we had everything planned out by midnight. And then that was Thursday, and then we took off after everyone's classes at 4 on Friday, and we were in New York by 10 p.m. on Friday night. It was insanity. That was the fastest trip planning I think I've ever done, and it was so much fun. We didn't actually go and see shows in Spring Studios, which is where all like the big designers and models are, but we got to go to another venue and see people walk, and we went to Spring Studios and stood outside and got to see famous people go in. I was like, this is so cool. And there's photographers out front taking our picture, and we're like, nonchalant, yeah, we look awesome. So it was really fun. As far as I wanted to talk about like baldness and staring goes, in the cities I've noticed it's not as bad. Like, unless you're like a super tourist, like all the people who live in city are like, we've seen it all. They are very well seasoned to anything that's different. So the staring in New York wasn't bad. And then the staring I did get was at the fashion shows, and it was like a good staring, like, dang, she looks good. So it wasn't like weird in any way. And it was actually so cool. People would come up and be like, who do you represent? And I didn't know what that meant at the time, but that was explained to me later. It means like they want to know like what agency you represent, but I like didn't know, so I would just laugh and go, myself. And then they would laugh too, thinking I was being funny, but I really just didn't know. So yeah, those conversations went well. It was nice for people to say, the baldness looks really good on you. Like, thank you. Baldness looks good on a lot of people, at least in my opinion. But for all you alopecians who are worried and that are in the city, like, even in Seattle it's not bad. It's only the super touristy people that gawk at me, and even then I'm not bothered, because I'm like, this is my town, welcome to my city. If you would like to look, you may be graced with my baldness. And for the times when I don't want to be stared at, I just glare back, and then yeah, or I'll smile at them. That's actually the most off-putting, because when you glare, they're like, I'm gonna keep looking, but when you smile, they're like, she smiled at me. Oh no, I've been caught by a nice person, and then they feel bad. But it was fun, and like people that were in the shows and stuff would come up and they're like, wow, you look awesome. And so that was so cool. And then the shows were so Oh, I loved them. We stayed for 6 hours at one venue just watching like little baby designers and then different styles. We had everything from like ball gowns to like lingerie type shows, and it was sick. I loved it all. We got to see Madeline Stewart walk, the little Down syndrome model. Oh, she's so cute and she's pretty. She crushed it. But staring in the city is never as bad as staring is out in like the country or smaller towns. Like, I go to school in a small town and it took people a while to get used to me, but now I've been seen around enough that people are like, ah, whatever. Unless you go to like the grocery store and then you run into the people you don't see and they're like, oh. But I went to another campus, another university, to go to the museum for one of my classes this past week, and I noticed that the staring there was worse than it was in New York. Like 100 times worse. Like, people would walk in their backpacks and they'd be staring so hard they would like smack into other people. I was like, I'm just trying to see your museum. I don't want to be part of the exhibit right now. I would just like to like be educated. And you would probably like to not run into people, so maybe don't stare so hard. And I was like, I wonder why it's so different from like campus to city to like super country setting to even like southern countries, what I'm talking about, to like different countries, and how people take baldness and how they react. So thought it was cool that in New York it was just like whatever, and it wasn't that different, and it was nice to just be like, I can own my baldness and have it out in the open and it not be a big deal all the time. I will say this, it was freaking cold in New York and I was not very smart, and I only brought a baseball cap, so I should have brought like an actual hat because it was frigid. But the shows were fun. Having people say like, wow, alopecia is a beautiful thing was awesome. So baldies out there, you're beautiful. Even New York Fashion Week says so. So that's a sign. Don't hide your baldness all the time. I mean, I like to wear wigs every once in a while, but like, own it. All dimensions. You can do it. You can be beautiful and bald in New York, and Fashion Week is so much fun. So I want to go next year, maybe. I don't know. But highly recommend the experience. Baldies, find a city. The city is so much fun. Country people stare way too much. No offense. I still love you. You're still Southern hospitality. But you know, that's just my experience. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you think it's better in the city or in the country, or if you just don't have any experience with it. That's cool too. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.